Welcome to Chamber Connection. I'm Mary Hutchinson, your host, president of the Chamber of Commerce here in beautiful Hutchinson, right downtown. And we have been sharing with you a lot of the different events that have been happening this year here in Hutchinson. And with me today, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart, the Hutchinson Healthcare Foundation Gala. And with me, Rachel. Woo! You knew I wasn't going to try your last name.
Yes, it's Rachel Gamenden.
See, I probably could have done that, but then I start thinking of the U's and the E's, and then I get off.
Just say Gemuenden. Rachel Gemuenden.
Then I would say it wrong. Okay, enough of that. Rachel, you are the executive director of the foundation at the hospital. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So many moons ago, I knew about this event pretty intimately.
I wonder how.
Yeah. And yeah, let's just share, right?
Yes.
We did a little high five in the hallway and swapped offices.
We did.
Right?
We did.
And so when I left the hospital, you went to the hospital foundation, and then I ended up at the chamber where you were.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a fun little bit of our history and our story. I remember your very first day at the chamber. It was a golf event.
Yes.
And that was really fun.
Yes, it was very fun.
And a long time ago.
A long time ago. It doesn't seem like a long time ago.
I was 21.
Sort of. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Per that age conversation we were having. But let's talk about all things gala.
Yes.
The glittery, the bright, the shiny. And at the very root of it is mission.
Yes.
So tell us about the gala.
Yes. So this year's gala, we're excited. It's been a little bit since we've had a gala because of this crazy thing called COVID, right? So our last gala was in 2019.
Wow.
We were supposed to have one last year because they were on the odd years. But we had to postpone, which is okay, and pivot. We're happy because we're in a better spot today to have one. So this year's gala is Saturday, November 19th. And it's at the Crow River Winery, which is a great venue for us.
Yeah.
A little bit different. So we're capping. We've been running at full capacity. And as you know, the rooms get pretty full with all of the auction items.
Right.
So this year we're going to be capping at 200.
Ooh. So
So
if you want to
your
go,
tickets,
you really
yes.
gotta
You
get
gotta
on the
get your
stick.
tickets
Yep.
in. This year's theme is Winter Wonderland.
Oh.
Yes, so it'll be kind of a fun way to kick off the holiday season.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is what it's benefiting this year.
Right.
So this year is a new e-NICU, which when I know,
Right.
we get a lot of questions like, so Hutchinson's getting a NICU. It's not a NICU, it's an e-NICU. So with COVID, one positive thing we learned is that the importance of telemedicine, right?
Right.
Hutchinson Health has an OB department here, and we deliver about 200 to 250 babies a year, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And something that's kind of happening in some rural communities is they actually don't have enough volumes to keep their OB department. And that is not what we want to do. We kind of want to be that regional hub.
Sure.
So this e-NICU actually connects us. So if there happens to be a baby that requires a little bit more attention from a neonatologist, we have 24/7 direct access to a neonatologist. Our team does.
Okay.
So that's an amazing addition for parents that, having a baby is a stressful time.
Right.
We have many tests that try to see if they have any issues that we're going to know of to prepare. But there's occasional few that sneak through, and there might be an issue that requires higher level of care. So this is going to be able to assess that. And then it does two things. One, it keeps babies local, that if we have a question, they're on the teeter-totter of should they go, should they not go, well, they'll have a second, our OB team will have a second opinion. And so some may stay. However, if a baby needs to leave, it actually expedites that quickly. Yeah.
So I'm assuming this means because you need additional equipment.
Yes.
You need additional things to make this
because it's a whole
reality.
It's like a camera, video. So the neonatologist will be able to zoom in, see scans. They'll be able to see the baby. They can read the heart rate, all of the things. So specialized equipment, and then the software obviously to support that.
Right. Software. We
I
were
know,
talking
right?
earlier
Yeah,
about software.
yes,
It's a
yes.
love-hate relationship,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's kind of like a computer itself.
Yes.
When it works, it's great.
Yes.
So we know, okay, I know, but
Yes.
let's just share a little bit about how the foundation has helped, because this is not the first time the foundation has helped OB, our birth center.
Right.
So let's just talk a little bit about how that's happened to help it in the past, and maybe some of even the other projects that you've been able to fundraise for.
Yes, yes. So our gala is typically event that supports a project or program at Hutchinson Health. So we have different events throughout. This is a picture of kind of the fun happenings around the auction at
This is
our gala.
2019.
So that is 2019.
This is the masquerade.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, this particular year, I believe we were funding some of the additions of the new inpatient unit at Hutchinson Health that is now up and running and beautiful, and we hear a lot of great things about the expanded rooms.
Yes.
It's not so tight. So that was a project. In the past, we have OB, people like babies. We've done some panda warmers for the babies and some of the striker beds, which help not only mom, but also the staff that are needing to transport them. So yeah, it's kind of all over. It's kind of programs that align with what Hutchinson Health needs, but also aligns with what our donors kind of like and feel good about funding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one of the very first projects that the foundation had when it started was Hugs and Kisses.
Yes.
And Hugs and Kisses are the way to match and monitor that the right baby is going to the right mama.
Yes.
And I think that it's great that I feel like it's come for me in like 16 years, a little bit full circle, coming back to that need with the mamas and the babies, because you're right. There's nothing more stressful than having a baby and then saying there might be something.
Right.
Sometimes it's easier to know right away, but there might be something. So now we're checking, and now you're trying to figure out, okay, do we have other kids? Does dad need to stay here? Does mom have to stay in the hospital? Can someone go there? But if you have that opportunity to be assessed and no, oh, nope, you're good, you can stay, I would think that would be so overwhelmingly comforting.
Yes.
To know that kind of service is available.
Yes. Yes.
Kudos!
I know, we're excited.
I'm really excited about that. That's fabulous. So let's talk a little bit more detail about what somebody who wants to go to the gala can expect.
Yes. So the evenings can start. So we have two different ticket styles. So we have a general ticket that starts at $125, and then I know the food looks great. The food is great this year too, which I can share about. But and then we have a VIP ticket that's $250 per ticket, and that entails, so you can start with a VIP pre-party at 5 p.m. So you arrive at the winery, and that's a fun experience with some additional entertainment, food, and beverages. We'll just leave it at that so you can be surprised. And then the general night starts at 6 p.m. with a social hour, followed by dinner, and then there's silent and live auction. And then we have live entertainment, the Riverside City Hitmen, I believe. Don't get me wrong. So Brenda's sitting there rolling her eyes like Rachel. So they will be entertainment for the night, and then it kind of concludes. We are shutting down at midnight, but believe it or not, we usually have to kick some people out because they're having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're obviously not doing this by yourself.
No. So we have a phenomenal committee. We have, I think, 12 people on our committee this year. And then I also have a staff member. Her name is Brenda Flan, and she is very pivotal in helping do the event coordinator role as well.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So what can somebody expect with a meal and the silent auction and the live auction? What kind of items are we talking about?
Yeah.
I always love to talk about food.
Yes. So I'm just going to tell what the meals are because we actually went to sample the meals. So Chef Craig is doing those meals for us, and he does a phenomenal job. We made our way to Eight Town Tavern to do a sampling, and they were phenomenal. This is the first year that I'm like, okay, I don't know which one I want to choose. Rarely I want to choose the vegetarian option, but this year I'm like, I might. So the vegetarian option is burrata and mushroom pasta. And it was phenomenal. And then we have our fish option is a mahi-mahi with a red coulis, which is great, and some root vegetables. And then we have braised short ribs for our beef, or for our meat option, which were tender, with fingerling potatoes. So if nothing else, you should come to the gala to eat.
Right?
Yes.
You know, Craig has been doing it forever.
Yes.
Right, the whole time.
Yeah.
And he always just knocks it out of the
Yes.
park. It's always amazing. Just got to go down to the restaurant again and saw him this past weekend. And I know that he's really excited and honored to be able to do the event.
Yes.
Because he recognizes how important it
Yes.
is. So let's talk about items. Because,
Yeah.
you know, maybe there's somebody who's listening who knows somebody who might want to make a donation, whether it's to the silent or to the live auction.
Yes. So really, we try to hit the full gamut for our silent auction. We would like some smaller packages all the way up to larger packages. So, you know, we have one of my favorite packages that just came in, and why I'm thinking of is a date night for two. So Genesis donated a full day of spa treatments for a couple. And then Flank donated a gift card for a meal for two for dinner. So that's a fun little pair. So we have something like that. But we've also received a thing I like to give our staff kudos, the Hutchinson Health staff. We do a little competition for auction items, and we've been donated like a half of a beef and processing, which is huge. Who doesn't want that? That's one of our most popular items. So, right. So we've, it can be all over for silent auction. We like gadgets, tickets to sporting events or theaters. Yeah, it's kind of all over.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the live auction?
Yes, the live auction are usually our larger items, and really we find that experiences are the best for our live auction. So,
And the auction itself, I'm just going to
fun.
say, is an experience.
yes.
Because it's so much fun
Yes.
to watch what's happening.
Yes.
Especially when we're a relatively small community, and so you're going to recognize the people who are, and maybe it's you, but
They banter.
and we're a competitive bunch.
We are, which works well.
It does work well.
And Jim Fahey knows how to use that.
So Jim will be
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
So when you say experiences, for example,
Yeah, so we have like dinner parties. So having a chef that's willing to maybe go inside somebody's home to do a dinner party for 8 to 10. So we actually have that. Tyler Preve, who is a local chef, used to work at Spoon and Stable, has been paired with New Era Financial, made a donation. So that's going to be one of our dinners. So we have a couple dinners. We also have one that will be with Bait and Hook. Another experience is the Wild. Everybody likes the Minnesota Wild. So we have the Logie Box, I believe it's pronounced, and underground parking.
Oh.
Yes. So that's another live. We have a condo that's up in Avon, Colorado. So there's a lot of fun. We still would love a warm weather stay. That's always our goal, right, Mary? A warm weather stay.
Somewhere warm.
So if anybody knows of some place warm,
yes.
you let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we have some great packages already.
There's just something about this and the timing of it right before the holidays.
Yes.
It's just like perfect because it, like you said, it kind of just sets the tone for the holidays itself.
Yes.
And I mean, that runs from Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's. Oh, here's some people who are out having fun.
I know.
So sometimes there's some dancing. So the entertainment, are they a band?
They are a band.
Okay. And so if you like to dance, you can do that. If you want to sit and watch people dance,
Mary.
you can.
Mary.
Oh,
Mary's been a guest as well.
yes, absolutely. Really fun as I get to see other staff that we've had at the chamber in the past. I'm telling you, it's just a really fun time.
Yes.
And I don't know anybody who's ever been disappointed that they went, right?
No. Yes.
So let's
Certainly hope not.
Well, I hope not. And with you in charge, and I know some of the people who are on the team, right?
Yes.
They do a phenomenal job, and they're so creative and inventive is some of the
Yes.
opportunities that they bring that are experiences you're not going to see somewhere else. So let's talk a little bit about, too, just healthcare philanthropy.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a big word. Haven't
Yes.
pulled that one out for a while. In general, for the hospital here.
Yes.
So I know you just went through a granting cycle. Tell us a little bit more about, aside from the gala, some of the
Yeah.
work that you do.
Yeah, so we really kind of do a wide range of things, right? I think as any nonprofit in today's world, historically, when I first arrived at the foundation 10 years ago, gonna be 11 in April, Mary.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So it used to be heavier on the capital side. So when I came, you guys had just gotten done doing the capital campaign for Harmony River. Yes. So which was amazing. And you guys raised $1.8 million.
It just gave me goosebumps just thinking about it, right? Yeah.
So we were heavy on the capital side and projects at Hutchinson Health, like waiting room remodels and upgrades to the facility, which are still important and our donors still relate with that. However, I've been feeling a sense of change these last couple of years.
Absolutely.
It's more people to people or programs. So in our granting cycle, we've really been funding kind of more like one of my favorites. I'm also on the farmers market board, so that's probably why. But the farmers market does tokens for produce. And that is something that the grant committee does. And so you can get tokens and for produce, which directly ties to our community health needs assessment of healthy food options for children.
Yes.
So we love to do health and well-being in our community. That's been a shift outside of the walls of Hutchinson Health. We recognize that keeping kids healthy, keeping our population healthy is going to keep them outside. So it's not always about caring for somebody on our med surge.
Right.
Yes. So, grants range from, the farmers market or we do Wheel and Cog. So they have a healthy exhibit at their facility. Common Cup, the backpack program, access to food. Some other favorites, I shouldn't say favorites, but there's lots. Some other favorites I would say within Hutchinson Health are things that make lives for our patients a little better. So I know if you've ever been to Hutchinson Health and you haven't been able to get a vein, that's easy to stick, right? That's our least favorite thing. We had the team in our urgent care submit a grant for, it's like a little device that you can highlight people's veins. So for those kids or elderly sometimes that have harder to find veins, that's great. So anything that really will make a difference for our patients in-house or keep our community healthy are at top of mind.
So let me just tell you
Yeah.
that when, you want to always stay hydrated, right? Yeah. That helps your veins.
Yes.
TMI, I had a colonoscopy on Monday.
Which is great.
Which is great. No polyps, thank you very much, clear report. However, you're not necessarily hydrated and your veins aren't. And so we were even talking about, I said, well, do you have to have that special thing? And she's like, well, no, I don't. I found one, but it's right here for us if we need it. And so that's something.
Yes.
Thank you, because 5 years ago I did need that thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That does make quality of life and the experience so much better instead of being jabbed however many times that might have otherwise needed to be.
Yeah. I know. And another favorite, so you heard me throw out community health needs assessment. That's a relatively new thing. And that is basically a survey that looks at our community as a whole and develops what our health disparities would maybe be. And so COVID changed that a little because isolation became one of them and mental health came to the top. But access to care and nutritious food and mental health are all consistent top ones for rural Minnesota. Yeah. So when you see us granting, we sometimes try to align around those specific missions. So this year we had tokens. So one of our physicians actually wanted to donate towards taxi to the hospital because he was seeing that some of his patients couldn't get a ride to get care. So just tying it whole circle back to really the health of our community is what we try to help with funding for.
And you see that it's holistic. It's not just this
Right.
one little, like you said, inside the walls.
Right.
I love that.
Yes.
So I saw a picture that popped up here a little bit ago,
Yes.
the window of hearts.
Yes.
And maybe we can put that back up for a minute.
Yes.
And can we just have a moment for this? It went viral.
Yes.
And I saw it on national websites.
Yes, I think.
And Facebook.
Yep, and I think WCCO maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere, yes.
But
This was our staff's way to
Staff.
communicate during COVID.
yeah,
Yes.
and it was beautiful. And it actually stayed up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being there well after the first, second, third, I don't know how many surges of
Yes,
it, right?
yes.
And it was still there. But this is something that just made me really proud of our community and of the staff, because we all know that healthcare staff really, really struggled through this because so much was put upon them, asked of them, required. I mean, the gamut of everything. And then that goes back to that mental health piece that you also talked about for so many people. And I think that one of the things that I try to share with people is if you need a mental health provider, it's not any different than if you break your foot and need a foot doctor or an orthopedic doctor. I think that's really important for us to be able to, I can put a plug in, right?
Yes.
Because you're here.
Yes.
All right. So what's on the horizon now?
Yes. So, we're focused on all things gala. However, we have a year to wrap up. So we have our year-end appeal mailing, which is kind of going in a way to let the public know what our needs are, as well as what we supported in this past year, which are some of the things I talked about. So that hits mailboxes mid-November, end of November. Coming into this next year, it's crazy because I'm thinking of all the things we need to start doing, right?
I know, right?
We have our Share and Care dinner, which is how the foundation got started. So it is near and dear to our hearts, right?
Yep.
It's for local hospice patients. So that night, this last year, was that flank, and it was phenomenal. We kind of changed things up to pivot. I believe that's probably where we'll be doing it this year, but working on some of those details. It's always the third Wednesday, though, in April.
Yep.
So we have that coming up. And then we are looking to add for a family fun event for 2023. Yes. So if anyone has interest as a committee member, we're building that right now. So I'd love for you to reach out. And really what we want that event to be is to welcome everybody to Hutchinson Health Foundation. I think in the past, there might be a preconceived notion that I have to be of an X, Y, or Z level to give or to be included in events. And that's not the case. So we really want to reach out and make a family fun event for bringing kids and just getting involved. So we're hoping to slate that in. We're thinking maybe spring or summer based on our calendar of events. We have a scramble in August.
What now? I gotta ask.
Yes.
How many years? now?
31.
So you just had your 30th.
We just had our 30th.
I'm going to tell you a fun story, and maybe I've told it to you before, but it's fun for other people to hear. I remember I had an intern when I was working on the scramble, and we were stuffing envelopes
Yes.
with the letter going out to our sponsors of the past. She's like, yeah, didn't think I'd be stuffing envelopes. And I said, well, these envelopes represent about $60,000. And she goes, I love stuffing envelopes.
Yes.
Right? And I think that that's one of the things that all these envelopes
Yes. Turn
into something. And it goes back to what you said. It's not about being at a X, Y, or Z level. It's about just wanting to recognize the need or the opportunity in the community to help people on some kind of level on the healthcare side.
Yes. Yep.
So what would you tell somebody who gets this envelope? What would you tell them right now if you could just tell them face to face about what it would mean if they put something in that envelope and sent it back?
Well, on a high level, I really feel like it makes them a part of Hutchinson Health's mission of advancing health in our community and having a hand in that. And that sounds so big, but when you see it, so you have a hand like the scramble, this is a great, I just found out about this and it's a full circle moment, but you might be paying for the scholarship or help a student that's going for healthcare, which we know every single business is looking for workers.
Yep.
But I just found out that we had a dentist come back to a local place that particular person is on our board. The new dentist received a scholarship from us. And so we just made that connection, and we're like, how cool is that, right?
Oh,
so
I love that.
I want to say a donor has impact on that and keeping local talent, or donating for food access for children, or donating a ride to somebody that needs it in the community to get to care. So it's a huge impact. I know, all the feels. That's why I love doing what I do.
You're really good. You're really good at it.
Yeah.
I love how we landed where we were supposed to be.
Yes.
When you think about all the twists and turns
Yes.
that you and I I tell Kevin, I always felt kind of like we were just high-fiving
Yep.
as we passed, right? And so for you to land and to be doing this in this time and in this moment just is all the feels for me. But that right there. Okay, how can somebody get a hold of you?
Yes. So the multiple different ways, right? You can call our office. It's 320-484-4438. Did you think of that? You did. You were laughing. Because it's
I'm like,
gift.
Do I? Yep.
Yes, you did. Or you can email myself, which is kind of hard because my name is long, but it's Argumenden at hutchhealth.com. The easiest way, because you'll find my email, our phone number, is just going to hutchinsonhealth.com and finding the foundation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if you didn't catch all that, you can certainly go to explorehutchinson.com.
Yes.
And you can search for Hutchinson Health and Hutchinson Health Foundation, or you can call me, and
Yes.
I'll tell you how to get a hold of Rachel.
Yes.
Last thoughts before we wrap up about your 10 years. I'm really curious. What strikes you about these 10 years that you've been doing this?
I would say, I can't believe it's been 10 years. And I started as the annual giving program specialist, which was Mary's position.
Which never fit on a name tag, and everybody was
Right,
like, nobody knew what it meant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I loved being able to touch every facet. So I loved starting in that position. And stuffing envelopes. I still stuff envelopes. It doesn't matter if you're the director or not.
Yep.
Being able to touch our donors and see two things: touch our donors and see the difference if you're a recipient, but also work with our community and see how wonderful everybody is, and donating their time, donating their funds, or just spreading your mission. So our community is amazing. That is why I stayed in Hutchinson, and that is definitely why I wanted to be a nonprofit and make a difference here. So honestly, just everything I get to do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share that one of the things that I really appreciated was being able to see a donor's dollars put a smile
on the recipient's face,
on somebody's face, because they might not have seen it automatically, but making sure that they knew that. I mean, I remember these kiddos came in and they had been working really hard and wanted to donate some of their own dollars that they raised at a garage sale or something, and they bought little game things for kids who were at the hospital.
Yeah.
And I remember when one of the nurses said, hey, we just handed that out for the first time, and that was a game changer for them.
Yeah.
You never know what that thing is going to be. And thank you.
Yes. No, thank you.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for making the time to be here, because I know it's a really busy season for you, obviously, with the gala, like literally a month away, but also for what you do for our entire community. So thank you.
Thank you, Miss Mary.
Yeah. So if you do have more questions, please reach out to Rachel or to me, and we'll get you connected with her at the Hutchinson Health Foundation, and how you can attend with only 200 tickets available for the gala that is next month in November. I will look forward to seeing you here next month. I bet you know what November brings. We're going to talk about all things local, because we want you to think local. Have a great month.